Hi everybody, Dan Illman taking a look at race number 8 at Laurel on Saturday. It's the Dave's Friends Stakes, a $100,000 stake at 6 furlongs. Lots of stakes races at Laurel on Saturday. Be sure to play them all with a DRF Bets account. When you sign up at bets.drf.com, you receive a 300% deposit match. Let's meet the field for the Dave's Friends. Printers going 6 furlongs, and the number 1 is a 20-to-1 shot. That's Team Tim, who's been in really good form for trainer Damon DeVico. He's hit the board in his last 5 races, and in his most recent start, he caught a streaking horse named Joy Drive, who came back to win a $16,000 starter handicap with a 79 buyer. Joy Drive has now won 3 races in a row. That being said, Team Tim has been offered for the tag in his last 10 races or so. Ever since being claimed for $20,000 from a turf race, he is taking a big step up in class. He is a one-run closer that is at the mercy of race and pace luck, and he's probably going to have to run the fastest race of his career to win the Dave's Friend, especially when you consider the pace scenario. We are not expecting a fast pace in the Dave's Friend. Here's the Timeform US pace projector. You'll note the blue bar indicating that Timeform US believes that this race will favor horses on or near the early lead, and the number 2, Altissimo, is projected to be the pace setter after the first quarter mile. Altissimo has been on a roll in Ohio. He's won 13 of 32. He's always been a very nice horse, but just look at what he's done in his last sprint races. 100 buyer speed figure last time out, 96 the time before that, 97 the 2 times before that. He is razor sharp, and he looked good last time out, battling for the lead as the odds-on favorite against fellow Ohio breds, taking over 2.5 furlongs out and widening away to win by 4 3/4 lengths. He has won 5 out of his last 6 races. The only loss during that span came when they tried to stretch him out to 1.25 miles, way past his distance limitations. In many ways, Altissimo is the one to catch and beat, and he's a must-use in multiple race wagers. The number 3 is Cautious Giant, and he's a hard hitter. He's banked over $500,000 in his career, and he ran okay last time out at Gulfstream Park, going 7 furlongs in the Claiming Crown Rapid Transit, where he was only beaten 1.5 lengths by the in-form Uno Mas Modelo. His race 2 starts back at 6 furlongs resulted in a stalk and pounce performance to the tune of an 84 buyer speed figure, but the Cautious Giant that we've seen towards the end of 2017, 2018, the kind of horse that maybe can dial it up to a low to mid-90s buyer speed figure, and in a race where Altissimo's been popping 97s and a couple of these others can pop a 95, Cautious Giant might have to run a little bit faster in this spot. The number 4 is Midtown Charlie Brown, and I've always been a fan of Midtown Charlie Brown. I wish I was more of a fan of him last time out in the Fabulous Strike Stakes, because he went gate to wire and he paid $22 without me. And that race was flattered when the runner-up came back to run second in a stake with a 93 buyer speed figure. I think we should look at that Fabulous Strike, though, a little bit cynically, because I thought that day at Penn National you had to be on the lead, especially on the early parts of the card. Midtown Charlie Brown was able to clear off from the inside post, and he was able to score by 3 lengths with an 89 buyer speed figure. He likely has to run faster in here, but he'll be up close to Altissimo, and if Altissimo finds that Ohio racing is what he wants and not Maryland racing, Midtown Charlie Brown might be able to take things over, turning into the stretch. The 5 is Locky, coming off a 95 buyer win in that bender, beating the horse that Midtown Charlie Brown beat at Penn National. It was a nice performance. He was hustled out of the gate. His jock saw that there was a potential that he'd be locked down towards the inside. He raided Locky back, took him outside the pace setter, who is Lewisfield, a really nice Maryland-bred sprinter in his own right. Locky ran right by Lewisfield, then kept to his task in the stretch to win. It was a 95 buyer, backing up the 98 he earned when a second in the Grade 3 DeFrancis-2 starts back. I like that he draws outside the other 2 speeds. I think he's going to sit another good trip under Horatio Caramanos. He's won 70% of his races at Laurel, has the number 5. Lucky. The number 6 is Perfect Cover, who caught a muddy track last time out. May not have liked it at Parks. The 4th place finisher that day came back to run 3rd in a 2X at Parks, but with only an 83 buyer speed figure. 2 starts back, Perfect Cover almost pulled off a 54-to-1 upset. In the Chaladon Stakes, a restricted race at Laurel, it was a good effort, but that's the outlier from 19 lifetime starts. You take that race out, the best buyer speed figure in 85 all the way back over a year ago, December of 2017. 7's Colonel Sharp, coming out of a weak allowance race, went to the front that day, was able to just control the pace throughout. It was a rock-solid performance for Colonel Sharp. I just don't like the horses he beat in that race. Lockheed finished in front of him 3 starts back in the DeFrancis Memorial. His win 4 back at Timonium came in a 2-turn, 6.5 furlong race. He is an honest horse. He is probably going to be in mid-pack in a good spot, looking to make a wide bid with no traffic in front of him, but maybe a minor award is his ceiling. We take a look at my top pick, and I just think the Sharp Lockheed's going to trip out in here. The 2 might be tough to catch, Altissimo. I think you have to worry about him, especially if the Timeform US pace projector is right, but I think Lockheed will be on the move on the turn, and he'll grab Altissimo turning into the stretch. I went 5, 2, 7, and 4 in the Dave's Friends Stakes, one of several stakes races at Laurel on Saturday. Bet them all with a DRF Bets account and the 300% deposit match that goes along with it. Easy sign up at bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the Dave's Friend, 3:30 Eastern. Good luck.